fitness coach, and my passion is personal growth and transformation. And poetry and spoken word are pretty new for me. So I'm very excited to be here at Babel for the first time. And the interesting thing is that when I read about the storytime theme, it kind of excited me, and it got me thinking about how our life story begins, where it begins, how it begins. And I think we'd all agree that we don't choose where we're born. We come into an environment that is our family, our society, our culture, our race, our religion, and all of that whole system. And we adapt to that environment as we grow up for our survival, for our physical and emotional survival. And so we tell ourselves stories within that, and we adapt, and we take those stories with us. And I believe we create the stories from the perception of that environment around us. So it's very individual in how we see our world and us in it. And my story began in Ireland. I'm sure you can hear the Irish accent. And in the countryside, on a farm, on a dairy farm, with cows, lots of animals. I thought everyone had a pet cow. Cows are great characters, great personalities, some of them. So it was great, and the freedom of the countryside was amazing. But there was a feeling within that I didn't fit in and I didn't belong. And there's a certain amount of guilt and shame, really, when you don't fit in and you think there's something wrong. And there's nobody really to talk to. And this story comes up about I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. And these can hinder us in life. And for me, the biggest one was, I'm not creative. But yet I stand here in front of you lovely people, performing poetry and telling you my life story. And yeah, I'm not creative. And I realized that, I am. And so I went out in life with these stories that hindered me, and it all culminated in I realized that I wasn't happy, and all of this story was debilitating. So in 2018 I hit crisis point, as we human beings can every now and then. And I decided it was time to make a change, and I was miserable. And I found coaching. And coaching helped me to transform my life, and it helped me to understand the emotions around my life stories and where they came from. And it helped me to learn that I could actually write my own story. I could create my own story. And that's now what I want to do, is help people create their stories in life and know that we can make stories that empower us and that help us not only to survive, but to thrive out in the world. Which leads me to my poem. The first one is called Personal Power. And I believe when we create our story and we find our true essence, we can find our personal power. When is the time? When is the hour? When will we stand up, find our personal power, take our life's value and worth in our own hands, in our hearts, in our minds, making empowering stands? Being aware of emotional states like self-victimization, which can lead to lack of self-worth, and our own mental well-being deterioration. So I ask, when will be your time? When will be your hour to stand up and find your own personal power? I say, let this be the time. Let this be the hour. Rise up and step in to your own personal power. And after that poem, I felt it wasn't finished. Thank you. But yes, there was more to come, but in a different poem. So after that, within a week of writing that poem, I thought there's more to come. And it's about when you find your personal power and you find who you truly are, and you can go out and take your uniqueness and the unique gift that is us, our own, and we can make our mark. And that was the second poem about making your mark. Make your mark, be free. Too many people I know are way too unhappy as they age, never feeling they've made their mark, as their inner self they've kept in the dark. So go for it now. Create your story. Go with your own personal glory. Know that it will come from within. So rise up, step up, and begin. Create your own reality. Make your own solemn plea. Write your own personal mission statement, your story from which there'll be no abatement. To what you can do, to what you can achieve. Write it, take action, and believe. Don't keep that power of you in the dark. Step into that power and make your mark. Thank you.